Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. Six races down, 4 to go in the Coast to Coast Racing League for our 2025 winter season. And we come to the place that Earl built, Eldora Speedway in Rossburg, Ohio. Fast speeds, a lot of grooves, a lot of side-by-side action. You don't want to miss out on this race tonight, that's for sure. Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Madness on the Coast to Coast Racing League. As our Open 358s, Rebels and Renegades are set to take shape. We begin with the Open 358s, brought to you by Top Notch Trucking. We're so glad you could join us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network as well as Slide Job Racing Network. Marty Scala alongside Brandon Dittmer with you. So Brandon, we are 6 races down into the season, which means it is just about crunch time. Drivers will get a 1-week break from the points sometime of the year because of Speed Weeks, which is just around the corner, which actually I believe is actually next week if I recall correctly, if not 2 weeks from now. But whatever it is going to be an intense next few weeks here with now a lot of races on the calendar this year.
Yeah, and this points battle is heating up already as the top 2 with drops are separated by 2 points. Top 4 are separated by 4 points in total. Clay Christopherson took the lead with his win last week, and he is looking to run away with that.
Absolutely. Here's the look at the top 5 in points all together. It is FTM 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Christopherson and Morano are separated by 4 points. Morano had to take a drop last week after a tough run he had back at Cedar Lake. And then that is followed by Joseph Grandy and Scott Rayholm, all still in the hunt. Well, just like last week here, Brandon, we got another heck of a car count here this evening for Eldora. 29 drivers with us here tonight, which means we're sending some drivers home this evening in Open 358 action.
Absolutely. Always love to see a big B main and a big crowd come out. As Craig Bristol actually just joined, this might actually pump it up to 30.
I think it will pump it up to 30.
This track is going to be very racy. Who can manage this very tough track and very small berm?
Track is in the night, just past the sunset. Track temperature at 63 degrees if you're keeping notes at home. So we're ready to go for qualifying. If you're new to Coast, drivers get 2 minutes for 2 qualifying laps. Then we move on to 8-lap heats where top 4 drivers before the green flag are inverted. After the heats, top 4 in the results will transfer on to the feature. Everyone else has to run a 10-lap B main, where normally it's the top 8 will move on to the show for 30 laps, and then in Renegades, it's 35. First driver we are watching is the Bandit, Randall Dixon, as he comes off of turn number 4. The lap times start to flood in together. Brandon Templeton will put him up for lap number 2. As B-Temp puts her to the top, 16.393. Andy Patton down to 3rd. Trevor Giroux second quick on lap number 1. Dean Reynolds is 3rd quick. Joseph Grandy now pumps his way up to 2nd. Off of turn number 4, some of the drivers come. Michael Vitale, the jokester, up to P2 on lap 1. Isaac Salas goes 2nd quick on lap number 1, 16.45. But he was in the purple of all drivers in sector number 1. So if he's in the green here in sector 2, I think we could have a quick time. We'll have to see what happens. Off at turn number 4 he comes. He's in the orange. Sam Bachman, 3rd. Fastest driver amongst the drivers in the top 5 in points. 16.49 on lap number 1. Off at turn 4, he has a slower lap. Here comes Clay Christopherson, the points leader. Better lap in sector 2. He moves up to 12th at 16.67, hoping the invert helps him out. Kelly Wheeler in the 110. 20 seconds left to go here in qualifying. Couple drivers remaining that haven't put up a time just yet. Wheeler finishing up his lap. Same with Mike Brewer in the 390. Brewer goes 2nd quick. 16.42, finished on the podium last week, and he's actually joined the Full Throttle Motorsports team. FTM got a latest recruit called up from the Independence roster, I guess you could say. So with that, qualifying's done. B-Temp the quickest, and we are ready to go for our first heat for Top Notch Truck in Open 358 action. First heat of the night brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Here's how the field lines up as the Magic Ant-Man is on pole. Anthony Morano in the 32. Next to him, the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the 007. And B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Row number 3, Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51. And Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 4, Bob the Good in the 7. And Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. Final row here for Heat 1 this evening is Scott Zedeker in the 143, now with Venom Racing. Next to him, Michael Vecchio in the 247. Putt-Putt kind of reminded me of this, Brandon. You actually like this because you're a golf guy. I'm halfway through to being a full golf guy, but I watch TGL. But anyway, this golf simulator that opened a couple months for me, I've been there and I'm on their promotions list. They just had a promotion for the big game. It's like, oh my goodness, we just had a big wreck breakout. Jeff Barker's steering disconnected. They may turn on the caution lights here.
What in the world?
They're gonna add it out. They're gonna add a lap here. That is something you don't see often, and that puts us right to the Malcolm's Mills replay. Watching here. Oh, that's a disc. His wheel disconnected. That's for the 2nd week in a row that's happened. Happened to Joseph Grandy, not under caution, but right on board. You'll see here. Look at the wheels. Bam, they just snap to the left. So Jeff Barker has towed. Jake Henry forced to tow, so we'll have to see if any of those two can get on track. But right now, they're outside the top 8, Brandon, and they'll have to hope for a wreck to happen in Heat 1.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for both of them. Unfortunately, Jake Henry, just nothing he can do there. Just kind of had to stop and just get ran into. But Right, we're about to go green here. Hopefully one of them gets back out and fights or something, but here we go.
Alrighty, winner on pole this evening. Outside line moved up as Morano and Templeton bring us to green. Heat 1 underway at the Big E. Morano comes out with the edge as Bachman gave him a little bit of a push off at turn number 2. Bachman looks downstairs. Templeton up top, 3 wide for the race lead. Who leads lap 1? The 32 of Morano. Bachman up to second pass. Oh my goodness, no! Jake Henry! Come on, man!
Oh, you're kidding.
I probably said too much with that, so we'll focus on what happens up to the front, though. Jeff Barker, though, did make his way on the track, in case anyone's wondering, as he has moved up to 8th. Bachman now the race leader. Morano, Templeton, each have moved up top. Dean Reynolds, the final transfer spot. He's in 4th. Has put up some good distance. I think it had to do with what happened between Henry and Christopherson, gaining some time there, Brandon.
Yeah, I think they threw everybody behind him for a loop. Didn't really know what to do, so they just kind of let off and kind of just let him get away.
Slide job for Bachman for the race lead. Takes it away. Morano counters back downstairs. Side by side, the Magic Ant-Man out in front with 3 to go.
Big slider back and a crossover. Sam Bachman. These two are just pulling haymaker after haymaker out of each other. I love it.
Eldora, one of those few tracks in coast to coast that we consider here slide job city, because they'll trade slide jobs every turn, and we're seeing it right here between the FTM teammates. And all this has allowed Dean Reynolds in that 79 to close in too, Brandon.
Yeah, Dean's just been biding this time, trying to find something to work. And here comes B-Temp here, trying to get second as well.
Big run from Morano off at turn 4. Shows the nose underneath. Slide job leads with 1 to go. Counter back by Bachman, can throw the slider in. He keeps it underneath. Templeton though underneath on Morano. Let's go. He's going to look for the 2 for 1 off at turn 4. Bachman takes it. What a finish to this heat.
What a move by B-Temp. Holy
I'll
cow.
give it up for him. I thought B-Temp was going to get him there. Off of turn 4.
Like it. Looks like he turned on the grip packs and just drove her straight in.
Do want to show you here as well real quick. We can pull this up here. Here we go. Actually, quick look here with Henry. He had to wait a couple seconds, and then it just came out in a trap. Didn't realize the pack was steaming towards him, and gets Christopherson. I'm sure Henry didn't mean to do that. That's for sure. That's one of those oops moments. Anyway, we move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Proud partner of Brian Lawson, Venom Racing, as the lineup has slide job Scotty, Scott Rayom on the pole. Next to him, Brian Dickens in a brand new paint job in the 122. Row number 2, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 75, and Mike Brewer in the 3090. Row 3, Randy Shreves in the 56, Mike Weeda next to him in the 81. Row number 4, Kelly Wheeler in the 110, and Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. And the final row here this evening gives us the General Andy Patton in the 87 and Bud Molyneux in the 883. Pace car is in. We're wasting no time here for Heat 2. We're set to go green. Let's go. Good start. Some drivers got up in the wall there for just a moment. One of them being the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. So it's 3 wide mid-pack. No yaw from Giroux in turn number 4. Opening lap led by the 4th line, but we watched the race for P3. Actually, we saw some 4 wide there in turn 2. Shreves makes the safe and sorry decision to back out of it here, Brandon.
Yeah, going 3-4 wide back there. Luckily, everybody able to make it through, fight another lap. They're not giving each other an inch back there.
Through with the run on the Philly Flyer for P3. Can he take it off at turn number 2? Cannot. Got a good battle for 5th as well. Wheater, Schatzer, Kelly Wheeler. Oh boy, Schatzer, Wheater nearly come to blows there off of turn 2.
First doing a really good job of keeping that car just low enough, not getting any contact. Here he goes to the bottom. He's going to get it at the line.
Absolutely. Full Throttle Motorsports was pretty much like, hey, we need our own modified version of our 39. Why don't we call this guy up? And get that they did. Here comes Giroux, meanwhile, 3 wide for the race lead. Still slide job Scotty, command the field. Contact between Giroux and Dickens. I don't know how Dickens kept it straight, but he's able to put it in with a slide job. Won't be able to clear Rayon for the race lead. More contact, Giroux goes around. And I'm pretty sure Dean said earlier this week in our Discord, Brandon, that he was going to roast the Philly Fly for something. There's another good reason right there.
Just leaving that door wide open for old Dino.
Meanwhile, the battle for 4th got a lot more interesting. Kurt Schatzer, Mike Wheater now fighting for a transfer spot in with 1 lap to go.
Kurt's doing a good job by keeping that momentum on the high side.
Absolutely. Mike Wheater may have a chance downstairs. Schatzer shuts the door. Checkers wave. Scott Rayome, your Heat 2 winner. Dickens 2nd, Brewer 3rd, Schatzer 4th, Wheater 5th, Wheeler 6th, Molyneux 7th, Shreves 8th, Patton 9th, and Giroux 10th. We now move on to Heat 3, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, proud partner of the Retreads division. The Bandit on the pole, Randall Dixon in the 011. Next to him, the Jokester, Michael Vitale in the 213. Row number 2, Joseph Grandy, 100 grand, the 518. And slide job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row 3, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. And Harold Klump in the 2. Row number 4, Jason Butterfield, Butters in the 93. And Logan Wentz in the 118. Final row this evening, John Tobias in the 21. And Craig Bristol in the 093. Here we go. Winner starts inside of row 2. Green flag is out for our final heat race of the night for Open 358s. Good jump found Vitale off of turn number 2. He and Solids each got a big run compared to the others. Joseph Grandy with a slider in. 3 wide for 5th position, meanwhile, as Brandon Dittmer has taken away the final transfer spot. Slides up there in front of Harold Klum. Meanwhile, slide job by Salas. The 5 car taking the race lead away. He was 3rd quickest in qualifying. Started 4th, wasting no time. He's up to the point. We got trouble in the back, meanwhile. Randall Dixon's gone sideways. Also had Jason Butterfield, Craig Bristol get together. Take a replay here and show you what happened. In the back of the pack, ooh, Butterfield caught Dixon. All is fine. That, ooh, easily net code. That's what started that chain of events. Back up to the front, though, off of turn 4. Halfway home for Isaac Salas. 4 up and 4 down. Vitale 2nd, Grandy 3rd. Brandon Dittmer has company for that final transfer spot in Logan Wentz, that 118, on board with Wentz. Setting her underneath. Meanwhile, a slider from Grandy. Vitale trying to counter. This is turned into a cluster of a battle for P2. Slider Vitale. Grandy counters back underneath, all allowing Salas to pull away. The Spider Monkeys caught up to both 2nd and 3rd. 2 laps to go in Heat 3. Leaders all enjoying the top for right now. Final lap underway. Dittmer and Wentz, 2/10 separate from each other for the final spot in the show. Let's see if Wentz puts a slider on here or if Dittmer plays defense and shuts the door. Wentz looking low. Dittmer trying to defend. Vitale stuck up in the way for the 83. Wentz has a chance at it, and Wentz steals it. Oh my! Salas, meanwhile, your winner in Heat 4. Grandy second. Vitale third. Wentz fourth. Dittmer fifth. Klump sixth. Tobias seventh. Butterfield eighth. Dixon ninth. And Bristol 10th. Dang, oh dang, that's a tough break, BD.
Yeah, I made a late decision to go down and try to block, and I just caught up to Vitale, kind of ruined my momentum.
So now it is B-main time. 10 laps. We've put 12 in. We are taking 12 in this one, so we only know half the field. Here we go for B-main. Here's the starting lineup. Is Bob DeGoods on the pole in the 7. Next to him, Mike Weeda in the 81. Row number 2, the Spider Monkey. Brandon Dittmer in the 83. And Scott Zanacker in the 143. Row 3, Kelly Wheeler. He's in the 110 and the 2 of Harold Klump. Row number 4, Michael Vecchio in the 247. And Bud Molyneux in the 883. Rounding out the top 10, John Tobias in the 21. And the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row number 6, Randy Shreves of the 56. And Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93. Row 7, Jake the Snake Henry in the 171, and the General, Andy Patton, in the 87. Row 8, Randall Dixon in the 11, and Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51. And the final row for this evening is Trevor Giroux, the Philly Flyer, in the 75, and Craig Bristol in the 093. So we are set to go here for our last Shin Showdown. No call from Molyneux or Dixon onto the grid. So I think they're going to try and hope for an early wreck to break out. If not, they'll be going home. Top 12 make it in. Focus on 12th after lap number 1. Green flag waves. Here we go. Stack up on the outside row for just a moment. Advantage, though, off of turn number 2 to Bob DeGood by a nose for right now. He's side by side with Weeda for the lead. Brandon Dittmer looking downstairs for the race lead. 3 wide for a moment. DeGood leads lap number 1. Here's the battle for 12th. You got Trevor Giroux up in the final transfer spot. Little contact in the back. Oh, boy. Christopherson sideways off of Andy Patton makes the save. Your points leader of the Open 358 division needs to get on his horse, or else he will have to use this one as a drop race. Butters with the final transfer spot in the 93 for right now. The other 11 in front all looking pretty good. In the wall, though, won't go, goes the 93. Butterfield goes around in front of Henry. And that'll likely do it for him unless a massacre happens in front. That puts Putt-Putt up to 11, now up to 10. Should he get past Jeff Barker? Near contact between the two. And now it's Craig Bristol, the final car in the 093. 7/10 of a second up on Jake Henry. Meanwhile, they're just about 4 wide in front. On board with Bristol. Ooh, Barker had to back out of it. He nearly got put up in the wall by Vecchio. That allows the 93, 093 to take forward of that. But he gets up on the wall. Craig Bristol now back down to last. And now he gets up on 2 wheels. With real contact with Barker. And he makes more contact with Jake Henry. And we're 3 wide for 11th. 4 laps to go in the last chance showdown. Jake Henry with a slider on Craig Bristol. Tries to yeet him out of the way. On the binders, Andy Patton. And out goes Bristol. So the Snake has slithered his way up to 12th in the final spot in. He's got 9/10 of a second, no mistakes, and Henry's going to make the show scot-free. Battle in front of him, Vecchio and Barker for P10. The 247 sliding up the hill, nearly squeezes Barker in the wall once again. That gap, though, closing a little bit by Andy Patton. Patton sending her deep. However, those sliders aren't going to cut it. Needs to take a miracle, or else Patton will have to go set up the sprint car, which he's very good. Meanwhile, battle for the race win. Kelly Wheeler, Mike Weeda, side by side. Wheeler gets it at the line. Weeda second, Dittmer third, DeGood fourth, Klump fifth, Giroux sixth, Christofferson seventh, Shreves eighth, Zenecker ninth, and Jeff Barker in 10th, Vecchio 11th, and Jake Henry in 12th. They are all in. The rest of the field goes home. So we'll take a break here, but in 2 weeks from now, it is Speed Weeks. Here's a little bit more details for you on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups just wrapping up here. Brandon Templeton, the quickest, in 18:16.558, followed by Isaac Salas, Sam Bachman, Trevor Giroux, and Kurt Schatzer. So with that being said, we are ready to go for our first feature of the night. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup, which, by the way, back Wednesday night on Rock Sports Network, so don't miss out on that. On the pole, Sam Bachman in the 007. Next to him, Slide Job Scott Rayome in the 4. Row number 2, Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5, and B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Row 3, Brian Dickens in the 122, and 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row 4, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32, and Mike Brewer in the 390. Rounding out the top 10, Mike Vitale in the 213, and Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 6, Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218, and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row 7, Kelly Wheeler in the 110, and Mike Weida in the 81. Row 8, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and Bobby Good in car number 7. Row 9, it's Harold Klump in the 2, and the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 075. Row 10, Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51, and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 11, Scott Zinacker in the 143, and the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Final row this evening, Michael Vecchio in the 247 and Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. No calls for either Vitale or Grandy on the grid. Picks to win. Let's see what you got first, Brandon.
Oh, boy. Give me Dino.
You'll go with Dino. I'm going to go with the man that's starting from 5th. Give me Anthony Morale to get it done.
It's a good pick. Good pick.
Anyway, good luck here, man. We'll see how you can do.
Thank you.
We are ready for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. Steve King Foundation pace car makes the left-hand turn to pit road. For the first time tonight, it is time to shake and bake. Bachman and Templeton bring us the green. It's time to get it on. Morano forces his way in, gets Dickens, and Reynolds is in the wall. And Logan Wentz paying the price, and we wad up a bunch of them. Vecchio loses the right front. Zinacker involved. That started from the front without question. Watch the green flag here. Morano looks underneath. Just came up into the 122 slightly. And a lot of his teammates, unfortunately, pay the price here. This is the first spin, I believe, we had that led to the caution flag to fly. Watch Zinacker in the 143. They're trying to avoid the spinning Logan Wentz. Vecchio catches him. On board here with the 247. The Justify Motorsports entry just did not see that coming. The right front is gone, and Vecchio didn't know it until right there when he slammed the door up with the wall. So one lap is complete here. We'll get ready to try this out once again. Pace car is in. Everyone resets to the same spot unless you were technically considered spun or went to the pits as we're back to green. Good start for the leader, but Brandon Templeton had the banking off corner number 2. Looks downstairs. B-Temp leads lap number 2. Slides up in front of that 007 of Bachman. Dickens third, side by side for fourth are the teammates of FTM. Anthony Morano and Dean Reynolds. Trouble in the back again. We got Logan Wentz sideways along with Joseph Grandy. So caution number 2 this evening waves. It's got up to the wall off of Kurt Schatzer. Eddie Shreves gets into him. Steering is gone. off the 118. This is from Grandy. Came out of nowhere for him. Just 360. That car should be good to go. Just keep it on the lead lap. 100 grand will take his quick repair here. While we wait, let's know who you're rooting for in the chat. We're glad you could join us here this evening. Gary Sickle-Cal watching, rooting for Venom Racing. Final double fire restart coming up here. Their best driver right now on track is Trevor Giroux. Scored in 10. Good evening to the Goose. Chad Cote celebrated his birthday last week nearly in the best way possible. Andy Patton also checking in after missing the show. Final double fire restart coming. We'll watch for the Chapman Racing drone. B-Temp selected the outside line on this restart. See if that helps him out. 3 wide for the bottom step of the podium as Brewer tries to get around on both Dickens and Morano. And that may seem to be the case off of turn 4. He may grab second here at the line. Morano sideways, and I think Brewer just took B2 away. It's way too close to call, but don't leave it in the hands of timing. Make sure you're clear and got that baby secured. Morano fell all the way back down to 7th. How about the start for the Philly Flyer? Trevor Giroux came to the B-main, started back at 18. He's up to 9th. So a nice start for him here at the moment. Side by side for third still. Dickens sending her in on Sam Bachman. Bachman stacks up Dean Reynolds and company on back. He slots in line, wraps over his wheel, and gets put up in the wall hard. Giroux gets caught up in the mess. Same with Brandon Dittmer. Isaac Salas maybe as well. The right front is bent, and we're under yellow once again. Catches the wheel right there. And yeah, that wheel was already toast. Dean never touched him one bit. Oh, look at Randy Shreeds getting up in the air as well. Let's show you the onboard here with Bachman. Watch this right front. Immediately go into shambles. How about the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux? Bang. Just a smorgasbord in turn 3. Once again, implications towards the points. Let's bring up the standings coming on into the night. Bachman 2 points back, having issues. Again, that's if you include 2 drops right now. So our top 5 in the championship, not off to the best of starts here this evening. Highest driver right now is Scott Rayome, I believe. Actually, check to Anthony Morano in P6. So Templeton, your race leaders, we come back to green. Mike Brewer 2nd, Brian Dickens 3rd, Dean Reynolds 4th, Kelly Wheeler 5th, Kurt Schatzer 6th, Anthony Morano 7th, Mike Weeda 8th, Brandon Dittmer 9th, Isaac Salas rounds out the top 10 as we are ready to come back to the green flag. Templeton able to hold serve here on this restart. The field is all stacked up a little bit on out. Anthony Morano trying to look underneath here on Kurt Schatzer for the 7th position. Able to get it there at the line. Now looks on Kelly Wheeler for 5th here. Tries the slide job. We're going to get that to work, but side by side for the lead. Here comes Mike Brewer underneath for the top spot. Slide job by Brewer. He's got it. Templeton counters it back. And a new leader at the line. It's the 39. The 390 of Brewer. Templeton, that's tight. Brewer, I think, got caught up in the wall from that. I don't think Brewer was lifting one bit. And honestly, I don't blame him in that situation, trying to race hard. Templeton has both Dickens and Brewer cleared, and now Dickens is trying to put Hammer Down Racing. 1-2, Brewer scrapes the wall again off of turn 2. They are side by side. How about the race for 4th? Wheeler, Reynolds, Morano. They sandwich the 110. Dino up to P4. And give credit to Kelly Wheeler, who started out just inside the top 15. Running near the front. Nice run for him so far tonight. So right now, your biggest mover up 8 positions. Morano trying to get the high side to work on the 110. Nothing doing there. 1-0 in this line, chasing down Dino in the 79. Meanwhile, your top 2 still racing for the lead. Templeton catches the wall. That's a good exit off of turn number 4. Brewer following the 31, but he catches the wall once again. He can't be doing that, caught it even worse than the leader. We are halfway home, 15 up, 15 down. A look at the 5-lap average for the first time tonight. Quickest car on track is Isaac Salas in the number 5. He's making things work really well. He's lost some time. He's down to 8th. Whoever was involved in the wreck earlier, I believe that brought our second caution. Has climbed his way up through the field. And now you've got Mike Brewer as the quicker driver on track. Compare the lap times. Brewer is the much quicker car than Templeton. Check here this time by. Templeton lost 500ths to Brewer. Brewer's got a lot of time to work with, 11.5 laps to go. Brewer thinks the time is now. Slide job, Brewer, not going to take anything away this time. Beat Temp counters back, he leads. Morano, meanwhile, he may be having some internet issues back in 6th in this good fought racing for position. Back up to the front, Brewer trying once again, deep send into 1. Brewer to the point. Templeton, contact once again. That's just hard racing for right now. What is Brewer sign up here with 9 laps of racing to go? Back up to P4. Reynolds trying to look for a run underneath. May lose a couple here. Loses 1 to Wheeler. Now loses 1 to Schatzer. So Morano down to 7th. Wow, Michael Vecchio was crashed. No caution. We stay green. Brewer's best finish in coast-to-coast racing action was 3rd. Got one last week got one a couple weeks ago, I should say, at Knoxville. And opened in 358 competition. Had the 3rd as well last week on the 27th. Imagine if he gets his first ever win. Remember, he hadn't raced with us for a while. Before this year, he had not made a start since 2022. But now he's starting to run out of time. Templeton has turned on the afterburners with 5 laps to go. Back to the race for P4. Dino and Wheeler. Now this has been the battle, the closest battle that we've been watching here throughout this long run. Salas trying to get a spot, was coming around, but he may have caught the wall. He had no yaw in turn one, so Salas has to back everything up. Three to go. Brewers got Templeton set up once again, possibly. From the back end of the leader. Templeton guarding the slider line, making sure that Brewer doesn't use it. But B-Temp so good when he uses the high side. 2 sticks in the air, 2 laps to go, the gap 0.3 of a second. If Mike Brewer wants this win, he's gonna have to come and get it. He wants that first career coast-to-coast win. But B-Temp is gonna do everything it takes to hang on. Off in turn number 4, white flag waves, we're on the final lap. Here comes Brewer, slide job for the lead, he's got it. Templeton counters it back. Brewer will get one shot in 3 and 4. Templeton defends the slider line. Brewer maintains it. Here they come off in turn number 4. To the checkers. Templeton takes the win. Brewer second, Dickens third, Reynolds fourth, Wheeler fifth. You love it for B-Temp, you hate it for Wheeler. He just made the slider a little bit too early. But still a great race here tonight. Templeton, a very good as well modified driver, that's for sure. His first Open 358 win of the season. As we pull up the results here. As I believe right now, if you include everything in coast to coast, since we've gone to Sim Racer, have 154 checkered flags he has taken. Biggest mover, by the way, the man that finishes in 14th, Jake Henry. Started 24th, finishes in the 14th spot. As you look at the rest of the field, part of the heartbreaks here would have to be Trevor Giroux and Sam Bachman as well. B-Temp won a couple days ago in a mini stock at USA. It's been pretty good with that mini stock this season. Trying to see the last time he won in a sprint car. Been a while, that's for sure. So, I think we got our top 3 in. We just got B-Temp with us, I believe. Oh, nope, that's Brian Dickens, so we can bring him in right now, actually. So, let's talk with him. Brian Dickens, a nice run for you tonight. Starting 5th, finishing 3rd. Take me through it.
It was kind of rough out there that first lap. Got some damage there to begin with, just trying to hold on to that top 3 spot after that. But I had fun.
Got to feel good as well, seeing at the same time a hammer down car back in victory lane. I mean, it feels like on a Monday night broadcast, and you probably agree with me with this. It feels good to have 2 of them on the podium.
Absolutely, it feels great. I don't know where Kurt ended up, but we'd love to have him up here too. We kind of put in some effort this week, and we want to get back up here where we used to be.
It really showed off, that's for sure. So, who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Dirt Track Bank, of course, for everything they do. I want to thank Hammer Down Racing, of course. They're my boys from the beginning. I want to thank Coast to Coast, you for doing the broadcast. Everybody behind the scenes at C2C, we really appreciate everything you do, and congrats to BT on that win.
Definitely appreciate the time, man. Great job on the run tonight, and best of luck in sprint car action later tonight.
Thank you, buddy.
Brian Dickens finishing 3rd. Let's go to the man that finished 2nd, Mike Brewer, with back-to-back podiums. Mike, what more did you need for Brandon? I mean, you made the move, but just a bit too early.
I needed to not mess up there a couple times and keep throwing sliders or something, because I was definitely faster than he was, because I could reel him back in every time I messed up. Every time I messed up, I could pull right back up to him, and I clipped the inside wall and messed my front up. I'm dragging my bumper across the outside wall. It's like just I had to take 4 or 5 laps there and get back into rhythm.
What did when Brandon took the when you got the lead when Brandon got the slider on you and kind of got in the wall from that, what did that lead to from your perspective? Just trying to race harder out there, trying and get it back, or what was that leading to?
Hey, gloves off were off at that point. You know what I mean? No, it was just it was game on. Just trying to get back up there and trying to get back into the zone and trying to hit my marks and stuff. It's tough to do. My hands are hurting, I tell you that.
Well, you achieved a third. Now you got your best coast to coast finish in second. What is it going to take to get a win?
Just more laps and running with these guys again, you know, and a lot of luck has to do with it. So we'll keep plucking away and trying to keep the nose clean and putting the best race we can on for the fans in the stands there.
Who do you want to give shout outs to on the run?
I got to give you a shout out for announcing this and coast to coast and all the guys over there at FTM. You know, great group of guys, and I can't thank them enough for bringing me on. And I've been racing with those guys for quite a few years now, and finally able to join their team, and really appreciate that opportunity. So let's keep it going.
Alrighty, man. Great job tonight, and best of luck later on.
Hey, appreciate it, Marty.
Mike Brewer, your second place finisher. Let's go to your race winner, Brandon Templeton. Another coast-to-coast dub. B-Temp, take me through the defense there at the end. You saw him go for the slider and an easy counterback.
Yeah, I mean, I just absolutely wanted to win the darn thing. I'm be honest with you. It's been a long time since I've been on one of these major interviews, big nights where, you know, it's broadcast and it's not just one of the less popular classes. So it kind of meant something to get back up there and prove we had something. Brian brought an awesome setup. Him and the guy's been working on them and shared it to us. And so that's the first time I'd run something that wasn't fixed this season. So it felt like, you know, a whole nother chassis. So hats off to him and those guys for making that setup. It was killer.
What's the high side like here at Eldora?
It's scary. I mean, it's like, you know, imagine you're, I don't know, driving along the edge of a highway that's got a drop off and you've got one tire half off the edge. That's what you got to do. I mean, you got to be right on the edge. And if your tire drops off, you're going to be stuck in the wall. So you got to do it lap after lap after lap. And it's just a balancing act of risk versus speed, because it's definitely faster if you get up there.
Well, hey, you definitely earned that one, that's for sure. Wasn't easy with Brewer catching you, that's for sure. So who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank. You know, he's been doing awesome things for us for sim racing and for real racing. So thanks to him for that. Got the Friday Night Lights Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash coming up this week. So that's going to be cool. Check it out. Friday is going to be broadcast by Joe Halter as usual on Got Your Six Racing Network. I got to thank guys at Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, and Brian. You know, especially Brian tonight. He gave the setup that ended up being the winning formula, so thanks to him, and he was up there, so obviously we had pretty good car. Thanks to Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, Hogan Lawn and Landscape, everyone watching at home. Thanks, Marty, for doing the broadcast, and Brandon for helping out. Everyone at Coast to Coast helping behind the scenes, and everyone watching at home, thank you.
Well, we'll let you go, man. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck later tonight. It was a fun race, that's for sure.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks? Is he referring to Iowa?
No, I think he's who in the world? Unless he's trying to refer to the Eagles and badly
Eagles and
misspoke.
Hawks are completely different.
I agree, which is why I'm wondering if he misspoke.
I don't know. B-Temp, if you're watching, put in the chat what Hawks are you talking about. I'm thinking Iowa Hawkeyes or something because of Caitlin Clark being back or something. So anyway, let's go to break. Stay with us. When we come back, Rebels Extra on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talking about it.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talking about it.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network as our Rebels are set to get going here. Our Rebels brought to you by RaceMed. Marty Scala alongside Brandon Dittmer with you. So glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for another night of action here. So our developmental series set to go here, Brandon. And right now, best man on the year has been the General Andy Patton so far. Has definitely improved his Coast to Coast Racing League performances throughout the year. We'll pull up the standings here in just a moment, but he leads by 11 points with drops.
Yeah, Andy's just been slowly getting better and better, and he's got Roger Craig nipping on his heels, though. If he's not careful, Roger might just come up and snag one along with Donovan Ross. Those two have both been kind of chomping at the bit, trying to get up there. Patton has just shown just consistency. But Clay has won all 3 races that he has been a part of, and with drops, he's going to be an absolute threat.
All right, so qualifying is underway. 2 minutes, 2 laps. Show us what you got. Pull up, first driver will watch here in just a moment here. We'll watch the Bass Man in a brand new paint scheme. Roger Craig in the 747. Sets the bar here on lap number 1 in qualifying, 13.862. Andy Patton, though, puts her to the top of the charts, 13.533. Grandy moves up to second. Patton slower on lap number 2. Nick Schell off at turn number 4, 13.73. Third quickest. Donovan Ross, 5th on lap 1, 13.80. Devo off the corner here. Does he have a better lap time? He is slower. Zach Chapman, purple sector 2, second quick at 13.60. He's 700ths off of Andy Patton. He was in the green in sector 1, purple sector 2. Needs a green, needs another purple in sector 2. I think he's got it. I think he's got it. Did he miss it? I think he just barely missed it. Nope, we're hearing that second lap did not count. Chad Cote, though, stole quick time. 13.497 for the Goose. And that'll do it for qualifying.
Went back, took a look. Zach Chapman tapped the wall in the middle of 1 and 2 just barely.
Oh, damn. That close. Alrighty, we're ready to go for heat race number 1, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. 2 heat races. Let's determine the inside row this evening. As Donovan Ross on the pole in the 5. Next to him, Nick Schell in the 96. It's been a while since I believe we've seen Schell. I can't remember the last time. Row 2, you've got Zach Chapman, Shaggy in the 72, and the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11. Row 3, Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51, and Gary Offa in the 94. Row number 4, Greg Parmalee in the 4, Mike Brewer in the 390. Final car on grid, Scott Zanacker in the 143. So we get set to go. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Ron checking in, rooting for Brewer. He definitely enjoyed the race. Chad says go Birds. Andy says go Birds. Something tells me it has to do with the Eagles in the big game, because nobody cares for the Chiefs. I'm trying to find something to do on Sunday. I'm probably gonna watch the WM Open, because that's my favorite PGA Tour event of the year, especially the par 3 16th.
Green, green, green.
Anyway, back to sprint car racing. Green flag is out for Heat 1. The winner on pole for our 30-lap feature, Nick Schell, takes the early lead away. Chad Cote and that Steve Kinzer lookalike scheme. I think it looks like Steve Kinzer. He moves up to second. Donovan Ross, contact off for Gary Offa, 94 in the wall. Keeps it going. Everybody makes the show, though, regardless, so no harm, no foul. But Cote's caught Schell for the race lead here, Brandon.
Yeah, he's going out, just following right now, just kind of biding his time, waiting for him to make a mistake for the slide job. He's a very patient driver. He'll wait.
He's a Canadian. I think they're all patient. No offense. No offense. Christopherson trying to grab Trying to hang on to fourth here over Greg Parmalee, who loses a spot. Zach Chapman all over that 4 car, nearly actually ramped over his wheel there, Brandon.
I missed.
Side by side for third, putt, trying to get a birdie up to the 3rd spot. That he does, moves up a spot. Meanwhile, Chapman finds his way past Parmalee to take away 5th. And I got a
That's
better.
gonna come for 4th.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a better one. Canadians are very patient when it comes to everything, unless it comes to the Stanley Cup. But it feels like forever since they've gotten one, and I hope they get one soon. White flag waves, final lap underway in Heat 1. Guess there was, again, this will determine the inside rows this evening. Jack Cote has a chance here. Nick Shell opened up the bottom, but Shell powers his way off turn 4 to win Heat 1. Cote 2nd, Christofferson 3rd, Chapman 4th, Offer 5th, Parmalee 6th, Ross 7th. Now ready for Heat 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. And here's the starting lineup as the Bassman's on the pole. Roger Craig in the 747. Next to him, Cale Bixler in the 789. Row number 2, 100 grand Joseph Grant in the 518. Hopefully that wheel is fixed up. Next to him, the General Andy Patton in the 87. Row 3, Mike Cranmer in the 70. And the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Row number 4, the Captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. And coming for the back, Keith Jackson in the 113, who's won 2 of these races this season. Almost won last week at Cedar Lake there, Brandon, trying to make a run from the back to the front, but unfortunately just had that wheel damage under yellow.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, those things do happen. But you gotta just look to bounce back from it and make the best out of that situation.
Green flag waves, final heat race is on, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Oh, Keith Jackson, contact already off of Steve Bixler. Mike Cranmer goes around, up in the air he went. Lap 1 at the line, led by the Bassman. Andy Patton following both drivers on the top 2, but look at Keith Jackson. Already has climbed his way up to 5th.
Oh, Keith and
Gary got together. Gary's up on the wall. He keeps his car going.
He's broken. He needs to
I don't even think he realized he's broken. He's trying to limp it.
Oh, Gary,
This
no.
could get interesting. This could get very, yep, this is getting very interesting. Everyone dodged him. I don't know if the brake pedals work at the same time though, because you gotta have that car stopped to tow it. But we're watching the race for the lead. Andy Patton downstairs, slide job. The General goes to the point. Oh, one up in the air, and that's Steve Bixler up and over. Jackson 4th, quickest car on track. Craig in 3rd. Cale Bixler down to 2nd. Patton still leads. 3 laps to go in the heat. Jackson for 3rd here, Brandon. Oh, he caught the wall. Holy moly, what an impact. He tried the slide job, caught the inside retaining wall, and out she went. And then there were 3.
Lifelike to turn 3. Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll show you this impact in just a moment. Gotta finish this race first. Cale Bixler up in the wall. He loses time. That allows the General to start on the front row. Andy Patton off at turn 4. Could have the advantage as he starts on the outside tonight. Bixler 2nd, Craig 3rd. The others DNF'd. All right, let's go back and show you Keith Jackson here real quick. That retaining wall, bang! And Roger got a good view of it and found a way to dodge it. Step aside, go to break. When we come back, feature time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups have wrapped up. Cote the quickest at 13.905. We're ready to go for feature time for our Rebels. Here's a look at the RSN Trackside starting lineup. Back tomorrow. Actually, back Wednesday on Rock Sports Network. On the pole, Nick Shell with the 96. Next to him, it's Andy Patton, the General, in the 87. Row number 2, the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11, and Cale Bixler in the 789. Row 3, Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 789, and the Bassman, Roger Craig, in the 747. Row 4, Shaggy, Zach Chapman in the 72, and Keith Jackson in the 113. Rounding out the top 10, Gary Offutt in the 94. Next to him, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Row number 6, Greg Parmalee in the 4, and the Captain Gary Taylor in the 34. Row number 7, Devo, Donovan Ross in the 5, and Mike Cranmer in the 70. And row 8, Mike Brewer in the 390, and Joseph Grandy, 100 grand in the 518. Final car on the grid this evening, Scott Zanacker. He is in the 143. Picks to win here. I am going to go with the Goose, Chad Cote, and he'll have good luck this time on his side.
Cote, huh? Well, you've left me a lot of really good options,
Yes, I
but
did.
there's one guy that I'm looking for particularly, and he's starting towards the back. Give me Mr. Adivo Donovan Ross.
We go Donovan Ross. Alrighty. Field making their way down the back chute as we're ready for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck makes the left-hand turn on the pit road for the second time tonight. It's time to shake and bake. Nick Shell, Andy Patton, bring us to green. It's time to get it on. Side by side in the turn number 3. Shell trying to get the advantage on Andy Patton. That he does. Inside line leads lap 1. Patton trying to fight back with a run underneath. Zach Chapman was right there downstairs there. Brandon had to get off of it. Chad Cote trying to get a run to the outside, but Patton shuts the door.
Yeah, Patton looked like he was trying to follow, but had to make a late decision to go down. And here comes Zach Chapman on the inside. Oh, we're going to get it sideways. Losing contact between our leaders.
Oh, bed crash.
Big wreck.
Shell.
2 of them involved.
And Cote again for the 3rd week in a row, I believe, with bad luck on his side. Shell and Patton get together, and there is a neck coat on Cote. And a big lick for both cars. Right on board with the Goose. From Shell's car. So now, here we go. The new leader is the General, Andy Patton, and we're going to bring this up once again, just like we did last week here, Brandon. Andy Patton never won in the Rebels. Per our friends at Sim Racer Hub, 66 Rebels starts. He's had a pair of seconds, most recently a couple weeks ago at Huset's. But now look what he's got behind him now. He's got the mystery machine right behind him there. We haven't seen in a couple of weeks, Brandon.
Yeah, glad to see Zach back here running. He's really fast whenever he comes out. Just if we can get him out here consistently, he might be able to put himself up for a championship if possible.
Patton selects the outside line for this restart. Not sure if that's the best decision here. I spoke too soon as he immediately clears Zach Chapman on this restart. Shaggy trying to look underneath still for that race lead. Gary off at his third. Look who is up to fourth, though. We may have spoken too soon because Keith Jackson's already on the charge. And same with the man in fifth. That's up 11 spots. Joseph Granny in the 518 cooking here. Oh, off on ramps on Jackson. In the wall he goes. How bad's that right front, though? Everything's all good.
Doesn't look terrible from up here.
Remember, top 5 transfer into the show. Pending Ayel off at loses 5th to Roger Craig. Here comes Donovan Ross looking underneath of that 5 car.
Donovan's just trying to make that bottom side work, but he's not getting a lot of bite out of turn 2. He might have to switch it up here pretty soon.
Look how dusty this track has gotten. Look on board from Chad Cote. Look how tough it is to see. Imagine being in the cockpit view. Look at all this dust coming out.
Driving through a lot of this is not a lot of fun in this game, especially when you got a lot of slick on the track. It is not a fun place to be.
I'll give you the cockpit camera right here with Keith Jackson, if I have it. Yep, take a look here. Look at this dust. Oh boy, Chapman slide job on Joseph Grandy. 100 grand trying to grab second from 15th.
Grandy is charging his whip through the field. Where in the world did he come from?
He started back in the 16th position, which is basically last on the grid here tonight. And 14 drivers took the green flag. Christopherson, Zanacker, and Brewer did not. Yellow is back out for Cale Bixler in 4. And so we will rack them and stack them back up once again here.
Did Grandy grid up for his heat, or did he wreck lap 1?
I believe he did not grid for his heat. I'll have to confirm. Cale had already crashed. He was just trying to get it back to the pits. As Keith Jackson, I believe, just waiting for the field to get back. Yes.
Ooh, yeah, I just cut that wall.
So Grandy did not take a lap in heat races. I can confirm. All right, coming to green this time. Final double file restart of the night here as we are through 10 laps. Here's a look at the 5-lap average. Your top 2 cars, the quickest men on the track right now. But now Grandy is wheel to wheel with Patton on this restart. How will this make things interesting? We're about to find out. This time the general select to the bottom. Chapman with a late early fire there. However, though, Patton able to clear 100 grand on this restart. Chapman trying to grab the 2 spot, but that won't work out. Jackson takes advantage of it. He's up to a podium position.
Jackson's going to take advantage of starting there on the outside as Zach Chapman's going to fall back to 4th and maybe more. He needs to get off the bottom.
Absolutely, the top side is
big wreck in the back.
We got one upside down. Gary Taylor, Mike Kramer's lost the front wing. No yellow flag, though we stay green. Is Gary going to run without a top wing for the rest of this one? He's going to try to do that.
Mike Kramer is completely broken. He needs to stop.
Yep, and he has. Yellow flag is back out, so we go single file rest of the way. Now, is that what you want here if you're Andy Pan, or did you want a long run?
This early, I think he won't mind this caution. When it gets to about 6 to go, if this caution comes out, he might be in a little bit more trouble.
Big accident. You saw Cale catch Mike Cranmer up into Gary Taylor. The captain took the worst look of them all. Let's ride on board with him. nowhere to go. A perfect 10 out of 10 landing. So the drivers behind Andy Patton have wins this season. Joseph Grandy with the win on the year. Got that back at Lernerville to kick off the season on December 16th, but he's 6th in points ever since then, though. The results have not been the best that he expected. A 5th, a pair of 9ths, and a 17th. One of those, that 9th place run, I believe, was when he was leading. Then he had the wheel issue at Port Royal. You got Keith Jackson, who's won 2 on the year. Zach Chapman's made 2 starts so far this season, no wins. Donovan Ross has a podium finish, and he is 3rd in points if you don't include the drops. 13 laps complete, we're back to green. Patton got a great jump. Decides to use the slider line though in turns 1 and 2. I'm not sure if that's the best decision. Gets a little bit of a gap. Joseph Grandy now deciding to explore some lines here on Andy Patton. That middle line working for the 518 though. But he's got a lot of company in Keith Jackson. Patton's got company. And Patton's
still ripping that top in 1 and 2, but
yeah, he may have opened up that top. Go, Grandy crisscrosses. You
Big
slam the
slider.
door, I'm going to shove it open in your face. Slide job, Grandy. Patton tries to counter it back. It won't work. He loses 2. 100 Grandy the point.
And Pat just lost to trying to get it cut down. As he's going to... He might lose 3rd here, too.
And look who has made his way back up. Chad Cote, after being involved in that first yellow, passes Zach Chapman for the 4th spot. Chapman trying to fight back, but he's now working on the general for P3. But look at the gap, though, your top 2 have put up. Jackson right in the cushion, nearly caught the wall there and biked it.
2 lines working equally the same.
Lap traffic. Believe this is actually Scott Zanacker in the 143 that the leaders are working on, and it is. He gridded very late in the go, and it may cost Grandy. Try to use him as a pick, and it cost Keith Jackson.
No!
Ah, boy.
Now, this is going to be interesting. Keith Jackson spun, but kept it rolling.
That is a good
as the
point.
caution flew.
I think
Does
he's
he
going to keep his
spot?
spot. Wow.
Looks like he is keeping his spot. Is there damage?
There
on that
is damage on the
113?
wing. You see the top part of the wing is just a bit bent.
Oh, I do see that. Yes, I do. That is unfortunate.
Now,
And he's going at pits.
yep, quick repair. I don't know the reason why Scott decided to grid like about 15 laps into the race. But it just cost the leaders badly. And I don't know why he decided to do it.
So he is currently 12 laps down.
That's all I'm going to say on that. You be the judge of it for yourselves. So Keith Jackson, who had another race-winning car, will go down to the 10th position for this restart. And now this puts Donovan Ross into a transfer spot. Joseph Grandy, meanwhile, after starting 16th in this race, leading with 10 laps to go. This Rebels division has been a season which we haven't seen in a while, but I call it a series where you can expect anything and everything. Chad Cote, meanwhile, just past Zach Chapman Up to the third spot is the Goose. Now we want second from the General Andy Patton. Could he have what it takes to catch Joseph Grandy here tonight, Brandon?
There's a chance. He just needs to be really smooth, get by
Ooh.
Andy Patton here.
Oh,
and
big
he just
wreck.
needs to-
That's
he had a
Donovan Ross
caution.
upside down and catches Greg Parmalee as well. You saw him flipping in the background, and I'm sorry, Devo, we jinxed you.
It looks like, ooh, that was a hard hit. Looks like Keith was trying to throw a slider. He kind of pulled off last minute, Devo got into the wall, and all hell just broke loose.
We're on board with Greg Parmalee. Riding in the back. I wonder if the dust may have had to be a factor here at the same time. Sometimes you can't see at the same time, so either that or he was just thinking that Devo was going to stay down low, but momentum shifted him upstairs, and number 4 car with nowhere to go. So now, Roger Craig could be racing in Renegades again tonight.
Roger could put together some solid laps here. He might. This is going to be a really good points night for him.
Absolutely. Your top 2 in points, having decent nights. Pan trying to extend that lead in the championship. Remember, it was 11 with drops coming on in. You see the points up on your screen.
How far gone are Grandy's tires?
Green flag, green flag.
Good jump for Grandy.
8 laps remain in what's been a wild one tonight at Eldora. Patton second, Cote third, Chapman fourth, Roger Craig fifth. And Grandy is running away with this. A 6-10.
Oh, wreck! Zach Chapman.
Oh, no! And,
So-
and the crazy just keep getting crazier. Chapman trying to get in the pits, but that won't work. Yellow flag waves again. And another change to the top 5. I swear,
Went for the
I'm-
slider, caught the inside wall, and bashed the outside.
this top, oh, yeah, it's a
Got
big lap.
Devo, too, at the end there.
Yep. I swear, being in this top 5, and I hope I'm not offending anyone here, it's like playing Russian roulette. That's what it's like.
It's about the most accurate description. That moves Mr. Roger Craig up to 4th.
And Nick Schell, who started on pole this evening, now in 5th. After he was involved in that first yellow with Cote and Andy Patton.
And I had just noticed under that last caution, Clay Christopherson never gridded.
Yeah, he didn't grid. And he has 3 wins on the season. I'm not too sure why.
By green.
6 laps to go.
Green flag, green flag.
Keith Jackson to the inside of Roger Craig. They're looking for 4th.
He's up past Nick Schell to the 5th. Does Jackson have the low line working at the right time? Running out, though, with 5 laps to go. Joseph Grandy still leading by a half second on Andy Patton. Chad Cote trying to find a way around the general, but nothing is working out for the 11 car here. 4 to go, near contact. Cote looks low. He's got to go to work now. Slide job by the 11 through to second. Patton tries the crisscross. Stays side by side with him this time compared to the 518. And now Patton throws the slider.
Yeah, Cote just caught the wall there in 3, unfortunately not able to get that crossover. He's going to have a big run out of 2 coming on Andy Patton.
And now the race for 5th gets interesting. Roger Craig, Donovan Ross, wing to wing into turn number 3. Devo slides up on the Bassman, and Ross goes through to 5th. 2 laps to go.
Ross just keep looking to transfer, but Cote continues to go to work on Andy Patton.
This battle
Randy is random.
This battle for second
Here
gonna
comes
get
Keith.
good with 1 lap to go here. Joseph Grandy out in front in the number 518 after wheel issues for the past few weeks. Not an issue now. Joseph Grandy wins at Eldora. Patton second, Cote third, Jackson fourth. Donovan Ross goes through to finish 5th by 0.6 of a second on Roger Craig. What were you talking about, Brandon, as we took the white?
Keith Jackson looking low on 3rd, or went low on for 3rd, going into 1 and 2.
This did not work out in the end. However, though, Pending IL will make it into the show this evening. As here's a look at the field, your biggest mover without question, Joseph Grandy from 16th to the win. Haven't brought that up yet. After he took the checkered flag. Man, what a drive from the 518. And this is going to be a fun interview. That's for sure. Let's talk to, waiting for Cote to hop on in here. And we got him on in. Let's bring up our 3rd place finisher, the Goose. And Brandon, we'll let you take this one.
Hey, Chaz Stepmer, got me?
I got you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic run. Heck of a battle there between the 3 of you there at the end. What more did you need to get to Andy Patton there?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I was fast. Sorry for the voice, boys. I was in a hockey tournament all weekend with my son, so it's shot. But yeah, no, it was good. I had to throw 1 haymaker at Andy to see if I could get it to stick, and then just settled for 3rd, really.
Yeah, at least keeping it alive, keeping a podium. When you were throwing sliders at each other, did you ever have a chance to like maybe pinch him down, keep him from getting to you, or did you just kind of say, let's just go ham for ham?
Oh, I like to just send it and then let send it back with me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you and I are a lot alike like that. I like to throw sliders, but sometimes I'll throw people down. But me and Andy, we're buddies. We're Eagles fans, so I mean, the respect is mutual.
Fair enough. Who do you got to thank for this run today?
All the guys over at All American Motorsports, Josh Whiteman for the paint, you guys for the broadcast, and Roger for the league.
Awesome. We gonna be seeing you in Renegades tonight?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's Chad Cote, the Goose, finishing in P3. Andy Patton, the General, finishing 2nd. Andy, a good run for you tonight. Leading early in this one, but Joseph Grandy just looked to be a lot faster, but still on and out. A great performance for you once again.
Yeah, thanks, Marty. I mean, Chad was faster than me there at the end, too. I was just trying to find a line to hold him off. I'm glad he didn't decide to take me out.
Yeah, how were you able to hold him off? Because he was fast all night long.
Yeah, he really was. I think it just took him a little bit of time to get up there. But once he got up there, I mean, he was like, he was faster. But I was running that short slider, and it was just enough to keep him off of me, I guess. Plus, there was a couple times where he honestly could have took me out, and it would have been my fault. You know, but Chad and I always race really well, so it's never, always fun.
Overall, here in the end, a great run. Definitely helps you out points-wise, extending that lead going into next week. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
My team, Inferno Motorsports, that group of guys over there, it's a group of guys that get together and you know, we all use the same sets from EPI and you know, and then we kind of fine tune them to our styles. But it's made all the difference in the world for me. Those EPI setups from Taylor Wineland. I like my new paint, that DNT design, Donald Tulos design. It's outstanding work that he does, man. It's really pretty stuff.
That paint's been good luck to you, that's for sure.
Honestly, it has. Since I changed from the green to blue, I've been pretty consistent. You know, I mean, I'm eventually, hopefully, I'll get a win, but you know, I'll settle for the top threes every week and coming up to talk to you.
So now
Get
we
to
know.
go to Renegades, you know.
So now we know why you finished ahead of Chad, and that's why he's been having bad luck those past few weeks. Oh, well, actually, today, I should say, because he's got a green scheme. He just got a new one. I hope he doesn't hear me say that. But he does. He knows I'm messing with him. But
Yeah.
alrighty, man. Great job tonight. Nice job.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. You do a great job as always, and C2C does a great job of putting these shows on. It's outstanding.
Appreciate it, man. That's for sure. Andy Patton, your second place finisher. Now we go to victory lane. He is back on top. 100 grand from 16th to first. BD will let you take this one.
Hey, Grandy, it's Stitmer got me.
Yeah, buddy, what's going on, man?
You know, you don't grid for the heat, and you decide to start in the back, and then you just rail your way to the front. How do you make that happen today?
Well, it wasn't by choice. I had to reset my wheel there, but you know, outdoor, you got plenty of time to do some work, and I was fairly confident I'd get up somewhere towards the front. Keith was coming for me. I hit the wall hard, and I had damaged something. And if it wasn't for that lap car, I think he might have got me. But you know, things happen.
Pretty much, in other words, he didn't want to have the wheel issues happen again during the feature.
yeah. It doesn't mess up when I race now. It's now when I'm not racing, when I'm in the pit, it messes up. So I don't know what's going on.
It's interesting. I don't know how you explain that one. But, no, hell of a run, great win. Who do you got to thank for this win today?
Catalytic Recovery, West End Tone and Repair, EPI, all the guys at Inferno, Mad Rabbit, Hinkle Homes, D&T Designs, A&J Custom Creations, my girlfriend Olivia for letting me do this every night. Appreciate you guys for doing the broadcast and everyone at Coast to Coast.
Awesome. Are you going to see you on Renegades?
You will not.
Oh.
I'll catch you guys next week or whenever I see you again.
Sounds good.
Later.
Joseph Grandy taking the win here in the Rebels division. We'll go to break. When we come back, it's Renegades time on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we
be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, we get ready to go for our Renegades division under the lights at Eldora. Renegades brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Welcome back, Marius Calla alongside Brandon Dittmer. We get ready to go here for this one, and once again, the story continues to be Patrick Spangler versus Blake Chapman. They've got a tight title matchup going on right now with the drops. 9 points separate the top two. I don't think it's a surprise, Brandon.
Oh, no, absolutely not. These are 2 of the best and clean drivers that we have in this league, and they're showing their strength. That wasn't the word I was looking for, but I lost my word. They're showing their strengths every week in and week out, winning. If they're not winning, they're at least finishing top.
Absolutely. So, racing ready to go here, pulling up the leaderboard, how things look. Good to see Chad Griggs back in the 27. Quickest on track, 12.912. Let's see who's checking in here on the chat. as we are ready to go for qualifying. 2 minutes, 2 laps. I believe we have just under 24 drivers here, so no B main tonight. First driver we'll watch, driver of the number 30, Stephen Goldner. Goldner driving very slow on the track. I wonder if he's just going to do one lap, get this engine warmed up here. Let's pull up the high side banger. Patrick Spangler in the 39, racing what appears to be a truck throwback. I've seen that car on a truck, that scheme on a truck before. Dean Reynolds quickest, 13:68. Tyler Wilson, 13:42. Jesse Atkinson second quick. A lot of purples in there on lap number 1. Here comes Spangler off for turn number 4. Second lap time. Goes third, 13:65. Wilson across the line. Does he better? Yes, he does. 13:38, the time to beat. Randy Shreve second on lap 1, 13:43. We'll see if he's got enough to break it. Blake Chapman fourth on lap 1, 13:53. Shreve's out for 4, slower on lap 2. 13:54. Blake Chapman off for turn 1. Isaac Salas, look out! Quick time! 13:33 for the top-notch trucking Venom Racing number 5. 13:325 Isaac Salas. And how about Andy Patton, the Rebels points leader, goes 4th on lap 1 to 13:46. Chad Cote 18th off of turn number 4. Slower lap, but we have 24 drivers with us, full field, so no B main tonight. We're ready to go racing. So we are ready for Heat 1, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup. Vanderbilt Master, Jesse Bandy on the pole in the 49. Next to him, the salesman, Blake Chapman in car number 20. Row 2, the General, Andy Patton in the 87. And next to him, Sly Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row 3, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39 and Jack Clevenger in the 78. And the final row, Bob DeGood in car number 7 and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. So right out the gate here, Brandon, we've got your top 2 in the championship in positions 2 and 5 in heat races tonight.
Yeah, Blake's gonna look to set sail coming outside pole. With Patrick Spangler in that beautiful looking Mark Kinzer throwback scheme is gonna look to come up and challenge him for a lead if possible.
So it should be good to roll off here in just a moment. Don't forget, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. We'll give you a shout out live and on the air. Winner on pole this evening. Everyone transfers into the show. Here we go. Heat 1 underway. Good start for Bandy in the 49. Blake Chapman counters it back for the race lead as they're side by side. The salesman wasting no time. He leads lap 1. Salas up to 3rd. 3 wide for 4th. Patton stuck in the middle here, Brandon.
They are keeping it 3 wide as they're out. Our top 2 are going to pull away from Patrick there. Patton, comes up, almost makes contact with Clevenger.
Clevenger up the wall, though, in turn number 4. Hangs on to it. Everybody staying single file for right now. Quickest after that lap, Isaac Salas running in 3rd, trying to catch Bandy in that 2nd position. That low line's going to be tough to run tonight here, Brandon, unless you run a slide job.
Yeah, it's gonna get extremely slick throughout the night, just like we saw in the Rebels. If you're gonna run it, you need to gear it just right.
Here goes Salas side by side for P2. Threw the slider of his own. Ooh, Bandy has to catch the wall there. Yellow it sideways, or maybe reacted abruptly to it. He catches the wall once again. Slide job, side job. And he's up to P2. Slide job wants another slide job back, this time at Bandy. But that won't work with 3 to go. Here comes Andy Patton trying to take away P3 now, Brandon.
That Patton's going to have that momentum on the high side. Ooh, Clevenger almost comes up and gets him.
The General trying to make a run. Oh boy, lane nearly closes up. Final lap underway here in Heat 1. Blake Chapman has pulled away to a 1-second lead on Jesse Bandy. Salas out of fuel in the 5. Salas is out of fuel. He put in a I think he put in a qualifying setup by mistake or just didn't measure it right. Blake Chapman, meanwhile, on the pole this evening. Everyone makes the show regardless. Bandy 2nd, Patton 3rd, Clevenger 4th, Spangler 5th, Salas 6th, Landis 7th to good 8th. Now on to Heat 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection as the Spider Monkeys on the pole. Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Next to him, John Short in the 51. Row number 2, the boss, Ross Corina in the 10, and Tyler Wills, the Macho Man, next to him. Row number 3, new paint job from Dean Reynolds in the Kenny Jacobs, number 79, a throwback from 1991. Next to him, Gentleman Jack in the 217. Final row this evening, Barry Goldner in the 36 and Steven Goldner in the 30. All right, Brandon, best of luck here in this heat race.
Thank you, sir.
Field is rolling here. Top 4 again. Everyone makes the show here regardless. Winner starts the outside of the front row this evening.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is now underway. Side by side, Short comes out with the advantage. Tyler Wilson looks underneath for P2. And the Macho Man takes that spot away while Short leads lap number 1. Wilson gets in front of Dittmer near contact. Corina up to P4. Steven Goldner trying to get the bottom working. Corina gets on the binder seat, nearly caught the 42 of Tyler Wilson as Wilson clips the wall. Tries to go low, but Dittmer is there. Now looks even lower. Gets in front of the 83. Had him cleared. Corina with a slide job. Through he goes up to P2. Wilson fights back with a run of his own with another slider. Again, slide job city is Eldora. Meanwhile, John Short's pulled away to a 6.5 tenths lead on the second place car. Dittmer catches the wall for a moment. Diamonds 1 and 2, trying to pull away from his buddy Dean Reynolds. Dino catching up to that 83 car who catches the wall. Dino trying to diamond 1 and 2, try and get a run here. Drafted him down the back chute. Here he goes into 3. Slide job. Dino, he's got it. Routes Corina, quickest car on track, 13:54, his best lap. He's cut the lead down to 0.4 of a second. Sends it in deep, coming to 1 lap to go. Looks like it's all John Short here. They're side by side for 4th, Dino and Dittmer. Dittmer probably thinking, who the heck this guy is next to me? This ain't a purple 79, it's a silver 79. We'll watch this battle for 4th of the checkered flag. Dino gets it. Dittmer tried to close it off the corner, did not work. Short, though, your Heat 2 winner. So John Short on the front row this evening for the 35-lap special attraction. One more heat race left to go, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, and here's the starting lineup. Brad Wade on the pole in the 814. Next to him, the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 24. Road 2, the Pink Panther, Jesse X in the 127, and Randy Shreves in car 56. Row 3, Keith Jackson in the 113, and the Goose, Jack Cote in the 11. Final row, the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. And rounding out the field, Chad Griggs in car 270. You've got the men 3rd and 5th in points here, Brandon, in this one. Those are the drivers we're watching out for. But Kyle Moonen also pretty good at Eldora, too.
Yeah, Kyle can be fast. He just needs to find his groove and just kind of set sail and try not to worry about everybody else on the track. You gotta look out for Keith Jackson coming from 5th, though. He's looking to make some headway through these boys.
Winner starts inside of row 2 this evening. Here we come to the green for the final heat race this evening.
Green, green.
Good start for Wade off at turn 2. Kyle Moonen pulls ahead to second. Atkinson and Jackson both underneath on Wade for the lead. Brad leads left. Oh, look out! Moonen and Atkinson ride the catch fence, and how everyone else missed them, I don't know. Chad Griggs, who did not take a lap in qualifying, had to start from the back in his heat race. Looking downstairs on Jackson for 3rd. He's got Cote, though, to his outside, who is also very fast. The Cote and Jackson train starting to come to town, Brandon.
Guys, Griggs is going to come up. Chad's going to bounce off the wall. Little
He
bit of
hooked
contact.
him. Good save for the 27. There is some slight contact. As Griggs falls down to 5th. Meanwhile, Randy Shreves, quickest car on track, 13:73 after 3 laps. Gap at 3.5 tenths behind, though, on Brad Wade. Still quicker, though, compared to the 814. And remember, he was 3rd quickest in time trials, Brandon.
Yeah, Shreves is just kind of right there hoping he gets a chance from a mistake from Wade. Unfortunately, it's not looking like it'll happen.
Just trimming the fat down slightly, though. 3 to go, though. In Heat 3 coming to 2. We're still watching this race for 3rd. Jackson, Cote, and Griggs. That time, Wade was better than Shreves. Ran his best lap in the heat race so far. Ooh, Jackson left the top open for Cote just a little bit. Goes for the slider here in 1 and 2. Jackson trying to defend. Slide job for the Goose. Jackson counters it back. Lot similar to what we saw in the Open 358. Jackson catches the wall off of 4. Your heat winner, Brad Wade of the 814. Shreve 2nd, Jackson 3rd, Cote 4th, Griggs 5th, Barker 6th, Moonen 7th, Atkinson 8th.
Let's kind of watch Keith there. He had got really bobbly on the top side of 1 and 2, and it kind of turned him away from running that very top side, so kind of allowed him to catch back up.
We'll step away and go to break. When we come back, featured time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But first, a word about Speed Weeks. Warm-ups finishing up here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as Tyler Wilson the quickest at 13:88. Ross Corinna, Brandon Dittmer, Patrick Spangler, Blake Chapman round out the top 5. Alrighty, here we go. Feature time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Here is the RSN Trackside starting lineup back on Wednesday night on Rock Sports Network. On the pole, the salesman Blake Chapman in the 20. Next to him, Shorty John Short in the 51. Row number 2, Brad Waite in the 814. And the Bandy Boatmaster Jesse Bandy in the 49. Row 3, the boss Ross Corinna in the 10. And Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 7, the General Andy Patton in the 87. And the Macho Man Tyler Wilson in the 42. Rounding out the top 10, Keith Jackson, the 113. And Jack Clevenger in car number 78. Row 6, Dean Reynolds in the 79, and the Goose, Chad Cote, in the 11. Row 7, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39, and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row number 8, Chad Griggs in the 270, and Sly Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 9, Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217, and the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row number 10, Terry Landis in the 161, and Barry Goldner in car number 36. Row 11, the Money King, Kyle Mooden in the 24, and Bob DeGood in car 7. Final row, Stephen Goldner in the 30, and the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the 127. Chad Griggs starting from the rear here this evening. And so it's time for picks to win. Who do you got, Brandon?
Oh my, look at this field we have. You know, there's so many amazing Renegades drivers, but there's a Rebels driver in here that has the talent of a Renegade driver, and that is the 113 of Mr. Keith Jackson.
You're going with Keith? Alrighty. Give me the salesman, Blake Chapman from pole tonight. I think he closes in on Patrick Spangler's points lead this evening. So, alrighty. Good luck tonight, BD.
Thank you.
Alrighty. 35 laps for the Renegades around Eldora Speedways. Steve King Foundation pace truck set to pull on to pit road for the Flatline Racing Bodies. Green flag. It is time to wing it and bring it. Because where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Chapman and Short bring us to green. It's showtime at Eldora. Into turn number 3, John Short clearing Blake Chapman with the advantage. Jesse Bandy, Randy Shreve side by side for third. But lap 1 led for the 51 of Short. We got one car up the wall. Everybody hanging on for right now. I think that may have been Barry Goldner in the 36. Ross Corinna trying to show his nose underneath as Wilson and Shreve stay side by side for P4. Wilson comes out with a man just out in front. Lowest we've seen a car run today right next to that retaining wall. Corinna in the 10 car, riding in the 6th position. We'll see if we get that to work though off of turn 4. That will definitely be tough. Brad Waite gets past him for 6. Jack Clevenger through to 7th. Field mostly all single file around this racetrack on the high side. Jack Clevenger now testing the middle groove on this racetrack for a spot. Tyler Wilson also wants a position on Jesse Bandy. That's for the bottom step of the podium. P3 on the track, and both of them want Blake Chapman at the same time. Bandy trying once again underneath. Randy Shreves trying to make a pass to the outside. Bandy shuts the door right in front of him. He's just following him way too close for comfort. They all stay single file. Ross Corinna leads the next train. Brad Waite, Jack Clevenger. Then it's Chad Cote, Keith Jackson. Company on back. Caution flag waves, first yellow of the night, and we got one around Randy Shreves. Upside down in turn 1. He was running in the 5th spot at the time. The right front is gone on the 56, and so has the top wing. Ooh. Oh, man, what a leg. I think Bandy may have caught him. Wow, let's give you another angle. Shreve's looking low. Had Bandy clear and then just gave him a bump. Just didn't expect it to be that close. And side over side. Went to 56. Onward Shreves. Quick repair, back on track. I'll give him credit, though, for limping that car back onto pit road. So should be coming to 1 lap to green this time by. While we were at it real quick, a look at the 5-lap average. As the top 3 cars, the quickest on track right now. First restart coming up here. John Short selects the outside. He's next to Blake Chapman. Jesse Bandy, Tyler Wilson, row 2. Ross Corinna, Brad Waite, row 3. Chad Cote, Jack Clevenger, row 4. Keith Jackson, Brandon Dittmer round out the top 10. Your biggest mover right now, Stephen Gollner, restarting in position number 14. Eight laps complete. Short holding serve on Blake Chapman. High side with the advantage. Bandy up to 3rd. Tyler Wilson down to 4th. Brad Waite climbs his way up to P5. We're going to try to find a way to get to that outside once again. Nothing working. Keith Jackson all the way downstairs, but he is just inside the top 10. 3 wide with Clevenger in the middle. Wilson's caught up on Bandy, looks underneath for 3rd, slide job of the Macho Man, slots up in front. Bandy counters it back. Does he have 3rd? Yes, he does. Bandy with another slider once again. He's got 3rd. Some drivers leaning on that cushion. Chad Cote, one of them. Wilson back downstairs, slider for 3rd. He's got it. Up the wall, though, at the 42. Oh, we have big crash. 1 car upside down. That's Dino. Isaac Salas also involved. Terry Landis. Believe Andy Patton as well with the 87. A violent impact breaking out in turn 2. Patton clips the wall there. Dino got, he turned the 78 first, and then Griggs put him up in the catch fence. The big one broke out. I think Clevenger, did he save it? I don't know if he did or not. Watch some other angles here. Let's go Isaac Salas in the 5. Everyone checking up. Landis caught the 78, and all heck broke loose. Here's Andy Patton. No, Patton caught Terry Landis, actually. Desert Demon. Watch one more shot here with the 78. I believe he did go around. He's restarting the back. He did keep it straight, but you see the front wing gone, so had to use that quick repair. Final double file restart of the night coming up here. John Short, Blake Chapman, row 1. Tyler Wilson, Jesse Bandy, row 2. Chad Cote, Brad Waite, row 3. Brandon Dittmer, Ross Corinna, row 4. Keith Jackson, Kyle Moonen. Round out your top 10. Ready for the restart here with 12 laps complete.
Green, green, green.
Waite trying to look for something underneath Jesse Bandy for the 4th spot. Cote following the driver, the 49. Does Waite have the 4th spot? Way too close to call for the blimp. John Short running the slider line. Blake Chapman utilizing the top. Remember, Short started from 2nd. Blake Chapman was your pole sitter this evening. May have lost a spot to the Goose, Chad Cote, who's had a great day so far. Wilson, meanwhile, for second on Blake Chapman. He find a way to slot in line. He cannot. Stays put in P3. I know John Short using the slider line in 3 and 4 to defend, but is he using up his right rear a little more compared to Blake Chapman? We know how good Blake is at saving tires. You see, just like that once again. Oh, but he got the wall that time. Blake not using it to his advantage. We've got a bunch of sprint car trains here at Eldora. If you're on the middle line, you're getting shuffled out back. Clean air without question is your best friend. You see Spangler getting sideways. Look at Spangler. He started 13th. He's in 10th. Big opportunity for Blake Chapman to get some points here at the end of the night. Just for him, also Brad Waite, but Waite's in 11th though. Blake Chapman, meanwhile, has caught up to John Short. Remember, they are teammates out at the Kreitz Sim Racing Camp. They got Short using the slider line in 3 and 4, but does not get a good corner exit. The 5-lap average we go. And Blake and Cote, from my perspective, are the 2 quickest cars on the track in 2nd and 4th. One driver losing some spots here. It's the car behind Jackson, that's Corinna in 8th. And now this top is thinning out where you gotta be very careful. Turn 4, I can see as well, starting to hump up at the same time like motocross ramps. Could be biking. But we are watching closely this race for the lead between John Short and a future Hall of Famer, Blake Chapman. And you think about how long it's been for Short since he touched victory lane, but we're far away from victory lane with 11 laps to go, with perhaps one of the best drivers in Renegades right now on the tail tank of John Short. I don't know if this is what he wants at the moment. He doesn't want this. Blake Chapman downstairs. Slide job by the salesman. He's got it. Short though counters back, and we're coming to slide job city once again. The 51 stays out in front. We've got 9 laps to go. Short stacks up Chapman. He looks to underneath, and it's time to cook for Blake. He's got Short cleared. Short underneath once again. Can the slide job work for the 51? Not this time. Blake still there. The salesman takes the lead with 8 to go. Caution flag waves at the wrong time for John. Keith Jackson around, Jack Hitt, Andy Patton, Jesse Bandy. Ooh, Bandy caught Dittmer. And then Jackson turtled. Mackinson caught him as well. A couple of more drivers. Man, there are some cars that didn't need to be involved, but because of the inside wall being there, that front straight's kind of like a blind corner for some drivers. Let's go on board with Jack Hitt. You can see Keith there, but you can't see that car downstairs. I believe was Jesse Bandy. Here's Andy Patton. Yeah, you can see the top. You just can't see Bandy stopped right there. This is Keith Jackson. Yeah, you see Bandy just catch Dittmer there. And that's where everything started. Man, wild hits. Keith Jackson. So we've got a new leader on this restart, and it'll be single file with under 10 laps to go. And for John Short, you've got to go back to nearly a year since he last won in the Renegades. March 11th, 2024 at Limaland. Tyler Wilson caught the top 2, by the way, before the yellow flew. And for Tyler, it's also been a while. We'll double check on that as we come back to green. July 17th, 2023, since he last won in the Renegades. But then you've got the dominant Blake Chapman. As we are back to green with 7 remaining. Short trying underneath for the lead. Oh, Wilson, 2 wheels, around he goes. No caution, we stay green, and now the caution waves. I think we had somebody else involved in that too that went around. Nope, just a single car spin with Wilson, who rode the fence in turn number 4. Ooh, Cote just ran his line, and they were just fighting for the same piece of real estate. When Wilson just caught the wall, he was pretty much like a dart without feathers. So now that moves Patrick Spangler up 10. And we haven't talked a lot about the biggest movers. Spangler up 10. Moonen up 15. Steven Goldner, Jesse Atkinson each up 16. So just when we thought Blake was going to take the points lead away, some of these incidents have happened near the front. Spangler has taken advantage of them. I think he would stay out in front by a very thin margin. Going into our off week next week for Speed Weeks. I'm sorry, next week at his home track, Williams Grove. Then it is Speed Weeks. So will Spangler hang on and take the checkered flag? We're about to find out.
Green, green, green.
He's looking for win 3 of the season. Spangler also looking for win 3. Short, and for his first since last year, we're back to green. Short trying to throw the kitchen sink at Blake. But that's going to be tough with 4 laps to go. Patrick Spangler on the attack. The high side banger is up to second. Oh boy, Blake Chapman, you may have some company here in the final few laps. But Short trying to fight Spangler so that Chapman pulls away with it. Slider by Short, Spangler crisscrosses the 39 through to P2 with 3 laps to go. And let's remember, it was a couple weeks ago at Port Royal where Spangler had the win, but Blake Chapman came out of nowhere to steal it in a photo finish. Could we see the same thing this time with 2 laps remaining? The 2 greatest drivers in sprint car racing right now are gonna duke at it for their 3rd win of the season. Car stopped in turn 4, white flag waves, final lap underway. Blake's going to have to defend down low if he wants it. Is he going to do it? That's what he does. Spangler keeps her on the top shelf. Here they come through 3 and 4. Win 3 of the season to Blake Chapman. He takes the win at Eldora. Spangler 2nd, Short 3rd, Cote 4th, and Atkinson, oh my, up 19 spots from 24th to 5th. What a charge by him. What a charge by Moonen, up 15 to 6. The charge from Barker and Landis, each up 11 to 7th and 8th. And same from Spangler, up 13th to 2nd. As we go through your results, we had 5 drivers up at least 10 spots tonight. As you'll see these results here in just a moment. Here they are. My goodness, give it up for them tonight, without question. They put on a great performance as Chapman wins by just about 0.2 of a second. for John Short. Got to give it up for him, though, regardless. It's his first podium. I got to check the last time that John was on the podium in the Renegades. It was last June at Kokomo. So good to see that at least. As you look at the rest of the field, heartbreak of the night would probably have to go to Wilson at 42. Recovered after that spin to finish 14th out of 18 cars on the lead lap. So, alrighty, getting the top 3 all in here. And we'll go to our third place finisher, John Short. This is going to be a tough one to talk to. John, man, oh man, you had a chance at least for your first win since last year. You did get on the podium though, but from your perspective, what happened in the second half of the race?
Oh, I don't know. Probably just lack of talent compared to the other two. But I think Blake was being a little patient with me, letting me make my mistakes there early. But really, at the beginning, I felt like I had a really good car, but I probably just burned off a little bit too much of the tires sliding across in 3 and 4 the whole race. So that last restart, didn't really need that last restart there because after that, I kind of fired off pretty terrible. So was and just not making very good decisions to kind of finish it off. So luckily, held on for a podium and didn't junk it in the meantime. I know I scared Blake on one of the sliders there, so hopefully we get a nice laugh out of that. Thankfully, he kept driving and ended up getting a nice victory here to cap off the night. It's a solid finish for us.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. Why did you decide, from your perspective, to just use the slider line in 3 and 4 throughout every lap compared to all the other drivers who were just ripping the top? Why was that from your perspective? Was it just a faster way for you in the early on in the long runs, or why was that?
Yeah, in warm-ups, I noticed I was getting several times, and I know talked to Blake that the lap times were a little quicker running slider, and so I thought I could get out and set a good pace. Hopefully, didn't have any cautions. So that was one of the first thought, and then I've seen a lot of races won that way. If you can kind of keep a good pace through 1 and 2 and then run slider, it's really hard for somebody to get around you as long as you don't jump the cushion. Unfortunately, I kind of messed up 1 and 2 enough times that Blake got back to my bumper and was able to kind of get through there. If I would have actually threw a good slider all the way around, I might have been able to get back in front of him, made another challenge at it, but decided to pull up and wreck a teammate on that one. So it was probably the best move. Would have wrecked us both. So was really just looking for a podium tonight, and that's kind of what we aimed for. Haven't been running very good lately, so it's nice to get on the podium and talk to you guys.
I'm glad we'll get to hear this twice on the podium tonight, Brandon. John, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
You guys for putting on the races. It's a good show every week. Roger and the whole gang that's running the league, doing a tremendous job. It's definitely not a one-man team. It's a whole group of guys. So thanks to all of them. And I got to thank all our sponsors, Epsilon Sprint Wraps. Preston did the paint a long time ago. It's probably out of time for a refresh, but I tend to like it. So did a good job the first time. And then just Galen's Homegrown Popcorn. Get the code CART CART and get yourself 10% off.
Alrighty, man. We'll let you go. Great job, and great to have you back on the podium.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's go to our second place finisher, Patrick Spangler, who put up a great charge. Patrick almost got Blake there at the end. What more did you need?
Maybe I might have been able to try it in turn 1 and 2, but I was trying to set for 3 and 4, and then he threw the block. I was going to try the cut down and just wasn't there. Just trying to play conservative at 0x, so seeing the bonus points, and I just can't have any bad races the rest of the way because I missed one and got wrecked in one. So just trying to get these solid finishes off.
How tough was it passing earlier on in the going? Because I think we saw through like 10 laps, you were only up 3 spots.
Yeah, I think the first 3 restarts, I restarted all on the bottom, and I just got stuck right along the inside ball and just wasn't there tonight. Same thing in the heat race, just buried myself in qualifying, put me behind the 8 ball the rest of the night. So got lucky, I got restarted up top, and then I hit the middle, and then there's 4 cars right in front of me all wrecked, and I just happened to hit the middle of that turn and missed them all. So just some luck there, and the top opened up at the end of the race.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Just you and Brandon for the awesome broadcast tonight. Roger run the league. Velocity Race Signs with Ross with the wrap tonight. And Trey was racing.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll let you go. Great job on the run tonight, and best of luck next week at Williams Grove.
Thank you. See you.
See you, Patrick. As we go to the race winner, Patrick Spangler finishing second, but Blake Chapman prevails. Salesman, take me through your pass on short there at the end of your teammate.
Yeah, well, I just had to be really, really patient with it. After that one restart, Short and I and Tyler, we were all kind of right on each other there, and I wanted to wait to slide Shorty until we had just a little more room from second to third there. And, I got the opportunity. I wanted to slide him in 1 and 2 because I noticed he got a little sideways off of 4, but he put some pretty good laps together before I was able to pull that off. And, I saw him get a little sideways. We had a good run, so then we hit it, and we were able to get around him there and, keep a pretty good pace. And fortunately, Shorty was able to keep Patrick away for those couple laps at the end because he was coming.
Were you doing any tire saving too at the same time? I know it was only pretty much a one groove track, the high side, but were you doing any saving?
No, if I would have been starting at the back, I probably would have. But it was just so top dominant tonight from the jump. Like there was nothing at all on the bottom. Usually there's a little something to start the feature, but there was just nothing at all. So, you had a ride or die on that top side. So there was no saving tires tonight, which makes you a little bit uncomfortable at the end, but we were able to prevail.
Who do you want to give shout outs to on the run?
Yeah, I got to shout out the family for watching. Of course, I got to shout out all the guys down at KSR, especially Shorty and Terry for running with me tonight. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy and AJ Custom Creations. I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some of the best stuff out there. Valentine's Day is coming up. If you're looking for something to get your significant other, there's no better gift than some Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. You can head over to their website and use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off some of their delicious popcorn. And I got to thank you for putting this broadcast on, Marty.
Well, hey, we got the double dip on popcorn tonight, that's for sure. So
it's awesome.
Blake, congratulations on the win through the year for you.
Thanks, Marty.
So that is the salesman that gets it done tonight. Brandon, as we sign off here, final thoughts.
Eldora, another place that's always produces some really good racing. Saw I here tonight, some great battles, some incredible finishes, and I lost where I was going with that.
Well, we turn things over to Williams Grove next week, so that'll be a tough track for a lot of drivers.
Oh, yay.
You included, I'm guessing?
Oh, yeah. Williams Grove's great.
Look at that cushion, meanwhile. And I think that's... wow, you can't even see the track anymore.
Oh, the cushion is massive. It's brutal.
It's so thick you can sit on it. So, but anyway, there it is. There's another look at it. My gosh, that is crazy. So, in the meantime, we will bid adieu on this Monday night. We appreciate you spending Monday Night Madness with us, and we'll talk to you again next Monday. I'm back with the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all our fine drivers and sponsors. Roger Craig and his great group of admins. He's Brandon Dittmer. I'm Marty Sakala saying so long. Congratulations to all of your winners this evening. Appreciate you spending some time with us. We'll talk to you again next week. So long.